Horrendous. Chris, grab a chair, slide in. Chris is getting the Meerkat set up and his Periscope set up. So we got multiple camera angles. My office is just a freaking disaster, kids. It's a disaster. But we're going to talk about sold by social media selling. We're going to talk about all the stuff that most of it's crappy buzzwords, but there's actually some stuff that's really cool. So we're going to talk about how you can take advantage of some of that, how you can really make sure that you're getting the most out of everything. So we've got Periscope going live there. Oh, snap. I guess we got to start the Blab now. We've got Blab going live. It's finding the stream. Blab is locking in live right now. What up, Blabbers? We've got Periscope. We've got YouTube live streaming. We've got Meerkat getting ready to go. What up, Louisville Chevy dude? Mike Davenport in the house, kids. What? Everybody say hi, Mike. Gina G. Tarek, thank you so much. Rick O'Tine. Justin, what it do? Soda Pop. Nancy Snell, thanks for being in there. Appreciate every single one of you tuning in. I'm just waiting for my partner in crime, my right hand, I guess my left hand, Chris Spear, to get in. Because you're on my left, dog. To the left, to the left. Everything Chris owns in a box to the left. That was like Beyonce. That was like Beyonce, dude. I'm feeling like Queen Bee. Just kidding. I hate Beyonce. I think I'm a little more Jay-Z. That's all. What's up, Mike? We're going to talk about social selling. Matter of fact, dog, we're actually going to talk about you a little bit today. My Adidas walked through Cosmic Floors doors and roamed all over Coliseum floors this morning. We're going to talk about you, Mike Davenport, so thanks for sharing that with your followers. We're going to talk about Chris's brother, Charles. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that we're doing. Leave the singing to Beyonce. You know what, Kevin Campbell? I will. Instead, I'll do the rapping. Speaking of which, for those of you that do not know, Chris Spear and I, don't let his well-dressed attire today fool you. We are about to venture into the world of hip-hop. Now, if you are not familiar with what hip-hop is, I'm going to let you guys know.
Country rap.
What's up, Mr. Jim Ziegler on the Blab this morning? Right. I love it. Thank you so much for getting on board. Those of you that did not see Jim Ziegler's post this morning, SpaghettiOs, let me tell you what's coming this Friday. Sorry that it's a little blurry, Kevin. It's because I've got a wide-angle lens on the phone. So this Friday, Jim Ziegler will be doing a Blab live talking about utilizing text messaging in your business. And now Scott Peckstein from Auto by Tel will be on the show. I will be on the show. If you're not on the show, then you're just lost, kids. You're going to be missing out on an absolute epic episode with the Alpha Dog on Blab. So make sure you tune in. If you're following me on Twitter, you're going to see it. You're going to see it because I'm going to be telling you about it. I'm going to make sure I'm sharing it. Thank you, Ian Smith, for sharing this Blab. Really appreciate that. So tune in Friday for the Blab with the Alpha Dog. So Chris Spear and I today are going to talk about social selling. And speaking of social stuff, many of you see some of the crazy stuff Chris and I do, right? So when we were raising money for Brian Armstrong, Car Strong, right? These are real tattoos, hashtag Car Strong, hashtag Stronger Together. We like to go outside of the box and do stuff. And the amazing thing is that social stuff is really what's promoted it. So the folks that started that GoFundMe for Brian Armstrong's wife, it had been going for a while. They raised over $20,000. That is miraculous in and of itself. We just really got passionate about helping and started sharing it on social media, right? And I mean, I guess you could call it social selling. I mean, even though it wasn't profit, I mean, we were helping people get sold on the idea of hearing, right? So in less than 48 hours, over $15,000 raised. Mike DeLay from MotoFuse dropped an $8,000 bomb. I mean, that was amazing, right? So that's social selling. Oh, yeah. So Chris and I like to do stuff outside of the box. So in November, with our good friend Half Stack, a.k.a. Will Alexander, a.k.a. Brando, hip-hop superstar, Chris Spear and I, because look how country we are, right? We're pretty country, wouldn't you say?
I'd say so.
We're pretty hip-hop.
I drive a big diesel truck.
You do. I drive a German car, so I'm pretty hip-hop. That means I'm like a rapper and you're country. Perfect. So we're venturing into the world of hip-hop. Chris Spear and I are going to, we are doing a music video, a hip-hop music video that you are not going to want to miss. So make sure you tune in November for that. All I can say is this. Hay bales, tarps, 30, 40-foot slip and slide, covered in Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yep. And
then we're still deciding between mud and Jello wrestling. No, it's not Chris and I wrestling, so before y'all get scared, it's not us that are going to be wrestling in the mud and Jello. It's all the people in the video. So it's going to be crazy. You don't want to miss that. So, no, I'm saying hip-hop, Mike, Hick-HOP. If you don't know what it is, look up the Moonshine Bandits. and a song called Outback. And then that's pretty much what Chris and I are going to do, but next level stuff. Okay, now let's talk about social selling. So Chris and I have been talking about all this stuff with social lately, especially in the automotive industry, but we've been talking about, yes, it's going to be cold, Lucky Rick. That's what's going to make it fun in Michigan. Bikinis and cold weather and mud and jello. It's going to be good. We're hip hop artists, dog. That's how we're going to do it. Very nippy, says my girlfriend. Thanks, babe. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. So Chris and I, we were talking about social selling, right? We were talking about your brother, Charles.
Yep.
And I always, we always have this debate when it comes to Facebook.
Yep.
I hate Facebook. I think Mark Zuckerberg probably knows this by now because I talk about how much I hate his product. But I'm still there because I know there's value.
Vicksburg native in the house?
Whoa, Vicksburg natives, and we all a little cuckoo. My daughter's horse is born in Vicksburg, actually. So I talk about hating Facebook, and I know B2B there's some value, but we still don't really monetize it. Now Gary Vee would be like, "What's the ROI of your mother?" We'll have that argument all day long. But to your credit, the other day I get a message on Facebook from someone I went to high school with. And she says, I'm a single mom. I need to get a car. Do you know anybody in the industry that can help? And I say, of course I do. Chris's brother. Mike D, she doesn't live down near you. She's up in Kalamazoo area or South Haven. So I message Charles, and boom. Charles gets an appointment. He's got an appointment with her to come in on Monday.
Yep.
She's going to buy a car from him.
Yep.
And I didn't market for Charles. I didn't go out and say, hey, if you're needing a car. But because of what we do and because of the social stuff, people see it. We'll talk about ad money on Facebook in just a minute, actually, because I think it depends on what you're doing. We spend a lot depending on what we're promoting, and then we pull it back when we're not.
Yep.
But so now I'm believing and seeing, to an extent, it works. But you were talking about something else this morning with social selling, and your thoughts about this. So why don't you vomit that all over our friends and help them get a little social love?
So we were talking this morning about social selling and how it's important to brand yourself with social, because I've got probably 700 or 800 friends on Facebook, friends that really I'm probably only good friends with, maybe
6.
Close friends with 6, and then the extended family. And
now everyone's going to wonder if they're one of the 6.
Yeah, exactly. So we were talking about how every once in a while, you'll see car sales guys or people that work at AT&T or whatever sales industry they're in. They'll have a big sale and they'll post something about, hey, we've got a big sale going on right now. End of the month, you'll see several car guys post a bunch of stuff, and then you won't hear anything from them the rest of the month. So when a person gets in the market, are they going to think about you because you posted sporadically here and there? You're not really branding yourself. You're not really branding yourself on a consistent basis, I should say. So if you're just posting at the end of the month, hey, it's the end of the month, we're having a big sale, come in, and you do that at the end of each month, you're not consistently branding yourself. You're not consistently letting your social network know that you work at a car dealership. How often should you post? That's debatable. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, it all kind of varies. So I think with Twitter, you post a few times a day. I mean, 2, 3. I don't think that's too much for Twitter.
I don't think so either. But flip the script.
Facebook,
Grant lives on social. Cardone.
Yep.
So Grant Cardone's a friend. We love Grant to death.
Yep.
We were talking about it, like he just keynoted down in Vegas or whatever. But Grant showed all day long, and I love Grant, and I think he drops a lot of great knowledge. But I mean, we talked about it. There are some days where we just have to mute the feed. Because there is such thing as too much, right?
Oh, yeah.
He said post and tweet until they delete you.
And that's what Cardone said, too. Well,
I don't like that. I don't like that mindset.
I don't like that mindset either, because especially with, Twitter is one thing. I mean, people expect to be kind of bombarded on Twitter, I think, to an extent. But if I consistently just keep seeing the same stuff from one person just over and over and over and over and over again all the time, it's going to get boring. So you're going to need to have quality content, and it's going to have to be different every day. So
let's tie that in, because there's a difference between posting and selling, and that's the thing. Because when we talk about social media blasting, right? Like when you're hitting somebody like a super soaker with your posts, right? Jim said, I actually watched Grant eat his breakfast. Yes, and that's what Chris and I were talking about. The alpha dog, Jim Ziegler. And if those of you that are following that aren't automotive people, by the way, if you don't know who Jim Ziegler is, you need to. So at JimZiegler, the alpha dog, Jim Ziegler, the man, the myth, the legend, great human being to follow. And that ties into what I'm talking about, though, and that's the selling aspect. Because a lot of people think that selling on social media just means, let me inundate the hell out of people with my crap.
Exactly.
And like, I know we post silly stuff. But I'm not losing followers. I don't post too much. And I don't go like, oh, eggs and bacon. Like every now and then I'll post something dumb, but mostly just to piss off my friends. But don't you think when it comes to social selling, like let's define selling anyway. What is selling? Right? What does it mean? Jim is the alpha dog. Yeah, Matt is the alpha pup, says Mike. Thanks. Delete based on hair. Hold on. Somewhere. Let's just go. All right, Justin, I'm going to address this today. This is my
first hashtag
James Bond Spectre hair today. And what it really is the construction dudes opened my door this morning and went, hey, man, while we tear out the rest of these bathrooms, we're going to shut off the water. And I said, good thing I already showered. And I took a handful of got-to-be glue and went Bond, James Bond. And then I dressed like a gym rat. Right, like a Guido from Jersey Shore. What, Gym Tan Laundry?
Oh yeah.
So selling. So what is selling though? Because to me, selling is helping people get their goal accomplished. So on social media, your goal is not for me to vomit my marketing all over you.
No.
Because that's not helping you. So when we talk about selling on social, how do we make it relevant and not inundate people with just a bunch of shit they don't want?
Just help them out, give them the information they're looking for, and instead of just saying, hey, come buy a car from me, hey, come buy a car from me, hey, come buy a car from me, and consistently saying that.
Every now and then say, hey, come buy a car from me.
Check in at the dealership, say, hey, I'm at the dealership today, hey, check this out, we just got a whole truck carrier full of this unique Corvette, or hey, my friend, my brother Charles just came down here and bought a car from me, and check in at the dealership with him.
Boom. Why should they buy from you, said Latasha? So what are people looking for, says Spud the Car Guy? I think people are looking for people to not be fake.
Exactly.
That's my opinion. And everybody's looking for something different, Spud. But, I mean, when Chris and I talk about buying stuff, great example. A lot of people swear by pre-roll YouTube ads. And there are numbers to show you that pre-roll is amazing. And I was having this conversation, and when a YouTube ad comes up, and I can't skip it, it frustrates me. And some people go, but those are the best, because then you're getting your brand in front of someone for 30, 60 seconds, whatever it may be. And I'll tell you what. Yeah, no drama, Mike. Thank you. Drinking always makes it good. With pre-roll stuff, here's what I remember. I remember that you pre-rolled me when I was trying to watch the DC Comics preview for the new Suicide Squad movie that's coming out in 2016. I was trying to show that to you the other day. We're setting up watch. What happens? A 30-second effing ad for like an insurance company or something.
And it was a forced ad, no skip.
No skip. Wasn't even related to what I was looking for. I don't even like related ads because I don't like interruptions in my process because life is short. If I get hit by a truck tomorrow, I don't want to get hit because I had to stand there 30 seconds watching your ad, right? So the thing is, it's like pre-roll is a good example of how frustrating that can be.
Well,
so
and now
socially,
and now YouTube is moving into you can pay $10 a month to not have ads.
I'll pay it. We were talking about this last night. Hulu,
I don't think I will.
Netflix. I pay $3 extra a month on Hulu from 8 to 11 so I can skip ads.
I'm okay with buying TV, but I feel like YouTube is not the same as TV. You don't have your TV shows on there. You don't have
that also
as much quality
music,
content. I mean, you've got you've got YouTube Music and you've got all the music videos. I like going to YouTube for music videos and stuff like that. But aside from that, I don't know. I don't know that I use it enough to be willing to pay $10 a month for.
I guess it depends on how mad I get by the ads, right? And how many more ads will be coming. Mike says he pays for Hulu and the other stuff. And cat videos. I love cat videos. I'm thinking about cats again because I love cats. No, but what it's coming back to, though, now that you're seeing, even with YouTube offering the ability for people to skip ads, and YouTube, don't make no mistake, it's a social network.
It
is a social network, right? It's just a video social network and the #2 search engine in the world. So if we're looking at that, and they're recognizing people's desire to skip ads, What does that say about the value of ads to people anymore? People are willing to spend money to skip them. That's why satellite radio got popular. They were forcing satellite radio into cars when satellite radio didn't have commercials.
Yep.
Even the OEMs were giving you a way to skip their own commercials.
Yep.
It's coming back full circle. So with social selling, how do we sell socially without, going back to what Spud asked earlier, what do you spend on Facebook ads? Some month we will spend $1,500, $2,500.
Yep.
Some months we will spend $100.
Yep.
Right? What is social selling if not ads? If not branding, if not brand vomit, what is it?
It's relationships. It's a relationship with, I've got a relationship with my brother, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my close friends, and then their friends find me through them. My brother sees somebody or my cousin sees somebody that's looking for a car and says, hey, my cousin Chris sells cars. Reach out to him. I used to work at a dealership, and I get phone calls all the time from my previous customers. Hey, we just had an issue with our car, or hey, I've got a daughter or I've got a son looking for a car, and all I do is I flip them to my brother. So that's social selling.
Jim Ziegler says, I'm trick-or-treating disguised as Matt Koenig or Batman. You rock, Jim. I'll tell you what. Go as me. Well, the hair, though. I'm sure you can find a hair wig like mine.
Mike Davenport.
If you go as me, Jim, I will go as you. I'll go pick up the Mr. T starter kit with all the gold bling. Except Jim's is actually real because Jim is a baller. So yes. Jim's big gold chain, we all know, costs as much as Mike Davenport's Corvette because that's how Jim rolls for sure. God, we love you, Jim.
Mike Davenport just posted that he gets tagged all the time in posts where people are looking for cars. And the reason for that is because Mike is actively social selling. So what Mike does is he's constantly putting out YouTube videos, how to do this with your Corvette, how to do that, what features the Corvette has. So he's constantly, how to connect your Bluetooth, all of that stuff. He's constantly posting that stuff. So people know that he's an expert in that market. But he also helps with
radio, memory seats. He helps and sets all that stuff up.
All of that stuff.
Kevin gives away 10 to 15 car deals a month from Facebook peeps that are reaching out to him.
Exactly. So when you make it known that you're in car sales or whatever sales you're in, and you're constantly posting, but the way that Mike's doing it and the way that the smart guys are doing it is they're constantly offering free information. And by doing that, everybody's looking at them like, wow, they're just giving away free information. They're positioning themselves as an expert. And then by doing that, they're going to just get more and more of those tags and posts. And when people have a question, hey, what about this Corvette? What about the Z06? Blah blah blah. What seats does it come with, or whatever? Somebody's going to tag Mike and say, hey, Mike, can you answer this question? And now Mike's got a door open where he can waltz in and maybe sell a car.
Well, and I'll tell you what, it's funny because Mike did something else, and Mike, I'm gonna share this with people who don't know you. And here's the thing: a lot of people don't know about Mike. So Mike Davenport has always been a good sales guy, but a lot of us in the industry didn't know Mike until beginning of this year. End of last year. A lot of us on the vendor side of the industry did not know Mike. Mike got known by being a complete dick. And Jim will remember this because what Mike Davenport did was he made a Facebook post and you did sell 2 cars in Vegas during Digital Deal, but he made a Facebook post that kind of blasted Grant Cardone and Jim Ziegler, right? Now here's the thing. Mike is a hell of a great guy, and if you don't know Mike, once you meet him, you'll know he's a genuine human being. We all love him to death. But Mike got famous, as Jim just said, Mike got famous because he pissed me off. Because as soon as Mike said something, Jim just took to the airwaves and was like, this Mike Davenport guy, and we were all just like, kapow! Like, everybody was like, what the hell? Mike knows nothing.
Said, Grant Cardone says, get attention. Now, that's exactly what Mike did.
But for Mike literally instantly came back and said, hey, I was just talking smack to get attention.
Yep.
And Mike is a genuine nice guy. But now that, I'm not telling everybody do something to piss Jim off ever to get attention. We know how well that goes over for some of the biggest companies in the industry whose stock is plummeting. But what I will say is, you got to think outside the box. It's not always about trying to sell something to someone. Yep. And I used to say the opposite. I used to say, if it's not going to monetize, don't waste the effort. Yep. And I've honestly, I said that this morning, don't say honestly, I've completely changed my tune on that. because now I feel like I have come to the point where I say, I don't really care. If you like me and you have fun around me, when you want to write a check, you'll reach out to me, right? Yep. If you want somebody to come and speak at your event that's going to make sure everybody leaves being able to make money and have fun, you'll call. If you don't, whatever. Hire the second or third best. I don't give a shit. I mean, whatever. If you want to buy texting, there are plenty of companies that suck at it that'll sell it to you cheaper. If you want the best, you call Chris, right? But I don't go out anymore and post like, buy this, buy this, buy this. If we got something that we're giving away for thousands less than it normally is, like 1 lead instead of $4,000, it's $1,000 right now. We're hooking everybody up. I posted it. I posted twice. That's it. We aren't always trying to bang the buy this drum. And that's the mistake I see a lot of our car friends doing. Every post is, look at our new commercial. Every post is, look at our car for sale. Every post is, call me. And to me, what it screams is, I'm hungry and I'm desperate. Absolutely. I'm begging for your business.
Exactly.
That doesn't strike me as social selling, Chris.
No.
It strikes me as social sucking. Not in a good way. No. I mean, like in a bad way. Suck. Like, thumbs down sucking. Yeah. So, what if you were to give everybody one tip on here's one thing you can do to make sure that your social selling is going the right direction, what's one tip you would give them before we close the show down?
Build relationships. Just build relationships with the people around you, especially people that can be beneficial to you. Forget about the benefits that they can have and just be friends with them. Get close with the people that can help you out. I mean, if you work at a car dealership, get close to the other businesses around you. I mean, there's lots of businesses around every dealership. Go deal. You can go door to door and introduce yourself. Make friends with the businesses around you. I mean, you're going out to lunch at most dealerships. You're going out to lunch every single day. Make friends with the people there. Let them know that you work at the dealership down the road. Make sure you tip them good. Make friends with them. Get to know their name. And then add them on social, and then they'll say, "Wow, what a nice guy Chris was. He's so nice. He remembers my name every time he comes in here to Qdoba." And hey, Chris, I got a friend that's looking for a car. I mean, it's all about just building those relationships. That's what social selling is. You build the relationship, the sales will come. You don't have to ask for the sales. You just have to let people know where you're at. And be friends with them.
Justin said he's going to go do a white snake video and lay in the hood. Mike says, know awesome. Your product. I sell more cars to people because salespeople don't know their product.
Absolutely.
So true. So I'll tell you this. This is the one tip I would give people is be who you really are on social.
Yep.
Be who you really are. Our good friend Al Gillespie. Yep. We got to see him in Vegas. Dancing Machine. Big Allie G.
Oh, yeah.
At Big Allie G. ALLYG. God, love Al. Right? Love Al Gillespie. And he's real. He's always out, right?
Yep.
So I would just say be who you are, because to me there's nothing more disappointing than connecting with somebody in one environment and thinking they're just great, and then connecting with them in a different environment going, that's not who I thought you were.
Absolutely.
Right? It's funny because I used to always, every time I was going to do something, I'd make sure I had my button-up shirt on, make sure whatever, and then people would be like, oh, you're totally different than I expected, and I never knew if that was good or bad. And now I'm like, okay, I think I pretty much look like a dick everywhere. So you're going to hate me the way I am, or you're going to hate me the way I am. Yep. Right? It's either hate or hate. No, I'm just kidding. But to me, that's the most important thing is just be the same person on your social media as you are in real life. I always say from the bar to the car, wherever you are, just be. That should be in our hip hop video.
Yes.
Yes.
From the bar to the car.
Bar to the car. Speaking of which, so as we wrap up today's show, first and foremost, you're anything but a dick, Matt. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Frank. But you ever seen him and I at the same time? Jim said, I'm not saying I'm Batman, but have you ever seen him and I at the same time? Jim, if you were on right now, awesome. I would ask you to say this. I'm Batman. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna as we wrap this, we're gonna wrap it with a little hip hop music for you guys, just give you a little bit of flavor of what Chris and I have coming. And listen, I'm not saying that we're gonna be hip hop superstars, but we're gonna be hip hop superstars.
Oh yeah.
I think you're overdressed for this moment of hip hop.
I feel like I'm overdressed.
Thank you all for jumping in with us on the Blab, on the YouTube live stream, on the Meerkat, on the Periscope. Now just enjoy this hip hop music, kids. We're so country, dude. We're so country rap. Damn. We're tilting back. Wait. Relax. Can you see how country Chris and I are going to be? And we're going to do stuff like this. But not with the glasses. Mike came back just in time for the hip-hop music. These glasses that we live by. I can sound country. Let the flag fly.
Yes.
In your mama and me a whole butt. Love it.
So awesome.
Moonshine Bandits, kids. Moonshine and foosball meetings, says Justin.
Yes.
We do it out back. Thank you so much for tuning in on the Periscope, on the Blab, on the YouTube. We love every one of you. Jim Ziegler, thank you for always being an amazing, loving supporter. You are one of our best friends in the world. We love you, Jim. Thank you, Frank Lopes, Latasha, Kevin Campbell, Mike, Deanna. Thank you all. You're the best of the best of the best.
You have a great day too, Mike.
Best of the best. Oh, this is a good verse. Bad.
Yes, sir. He can have her.
Next up, what up?
Called up from the rapture. What up, Next Up? Check out our boys, The Next Up, on Twitter. Hashtag The Next Up, at The Next Up. They were so generous.
At The Next Up.
Donated some big money to Tamara Armstrong.
They donated a few times. They did the hashtags at DSCS.
That was awesome.
They did
Oh, Latasha's jumping in on the Blab. What? We'll let you in. Back.
Let's do more. I like it. Let's do it.
Oh, show. Listen, they still need what? 11 grand.
I think a little less than that now. There's been a couple more donations.
Sure, you know what we're doing? We're going to pull that lens off. Bam. Bam. Gonna snap it over here. What? What's up, Latasha?
In the house. All right.
Latasha's dancing to the hip hop music. What? That's great. Oh my God. It is a great day being us. Life is good. We love it. Jim, you should jump in too. If Jim Ziegler would jump in and start dancing on the Blab as well, then life will be perfect. There he is. Here it is. The Alpha Dog coming in. What? Yeah!
Jim Ziegler.
Alpha Dog in the house.
Man.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is the best Blab we've ever done ever. Those on YouTube, you need to see what's going on the Blab.
Yes.
What?
Making it roll.
We
Making
love
it roll.
it. That's right. We don't make it rain, we make it hail like this. This is the best. Thank you guys so much. We love you. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your day. We love you guys. Peace. That was so great. I love it. I love it.